Hello, Diane here again. It is week 2 of my 31 days, 31 authors round. We're only supposed to go live once or twice a week, and I've been doing it once a week because had a lot going on in my life. And I've been, deadline pressures and stuff. But I actually kind of brushed my hair today, which I haven't been doing because I've been working on stuff. I guess there's only one thing that we should be talking about today, and that is Charlottesville. Now, I'm not reaching out to people who have already spoken up on the topic. A lot of people have come out and made their condemnation of events clear, and that's good. So I'm reaching out to those of you who have been going, nah, I don't want to get involved, I'm just going to scroll past this because, what can I do about it? Or those of you who have been, I'm too busy to get involved in this stuff right now. Or those of you who are like, well, everybody's got a right to free speech and violence is always wrong, so fuck both of you and whatever, right? Those of you who are on the fence or not involved enough, those are the ones I'm talking to. Okay, so I'm going to show you a book. Just a sec here. Let's see. There. Because of the mirror effect. This guy's name is Harry Leslie Smith. He is a dual citizen of Britain and Canada. And he wrote this book. And he wrote this book because he posted a thing on social media, I don't know, 6-7 years ago now, I guess. And it got such a huge response that he kept writing about it. And now he writes for newspapers and magazines and articles. He's one of many voices out there right now. And what they are saying is, have you ever wondered what you would do in the Holocaust or in the Civil Rights Movement? You're doing it right now. What you're doing right now, that's what you would have done. If you're going, I can't do anything about it, that's what you would have done. If you're going, those assholes have nothing to do with me, that's what you would have done. You're doing it because this is what's going on, right? All these guys, we don't have a lot of World War II veterans left, right? But there's a lot of them out there who are being very vocal, and what they are saying is, this is what Germany looked like before the Nazis took over. This is what it looked like. And all I can think is, those who do not read history are doomed to repeat it. They've been telling you that the pattern has been laid out, that this is something that, they've seen these events before. We've seen them many times before in history, right? A pattern of protectionism, a pattern of othering the outsider, a pattern of, fear of change in difficult economic times, in a good part orchestrated by rich white men, a handful of rich white men, not all men, not all white people, but a handful of rich white men who control all the money, right? It's happened. It happened at the beginning of the 20th century. It happened at the beginning of the 19th century. It happened at the beginning of the 18th century. Right? Like, there were revolutions. There were different things. I won't say that it's necessarily a bad thing ultimately, but it sure was shit for the people who were living in it. And here we are. Some people say, oh, these guys, they have nothing to do with the right wing. I mean, clearly they're left wing because they say National Socialist Party. Listen, dude, you need to get off the right wing websites, and you need to go and read up on some basic political science. The kind they teach in high school, right? So you can't blame it on the colleges, right? Who are supposedly all left-wing, completely taken over by left-wingers. Go to basic high school political science and learn about, this is my right hand, so over here is fascism and that's the far right. Okay? And we'll go over here and this is my left hand and that's communism. Okay? And most of us are somewhere in between. Contrary to what you may have heard, not all left-wingers are communists. And I'm sure most right-wingers aren't fascists. But if you're not actively opposing them, you are enabling them. They feel like they can get away with this shit. And they can. Right? Trump's refusal to take a side. And they got that message. Trump's on our side, but can't say so loud and clear. Right? Pence delivered the same message. You know, what has Justin Trudeau said? I don't know. I don't know what he said. Right? I haven't heard a thing. You know, and that tells me something. It tells me he's pretty quiet. I wonder why. And, you know, if you're going to show up to a supposed peaceful protest, armed and armored, with batons and shields, after you spent the previous night running around pretending to be the KKK with your little torchlights, right? And you show up with guys in camo and rifles, right? And you're trying to tell me that's a peaceful protest and you're calling for, you know, white pride and drive out the immigrants and, you know, kill the faggots and all that stuff. That's not a peaceful protest. And that's not freedom of speech. That is an implicit threat of violence. I don't know, I've been saying this a lot recently in a couple of different discussions, so it's probably going to sound rote by now, but I think I really crystallized my thoughts on this, and I can't think of a better way to say it, so I'm going to say it, right? I've been public about the fact that I was bullied a lot as a kid, and particularly in high school. And I watched a lot of people just stand by and do nothing, because what could they do about it? Or stay silent because, oh, maybe the bullies are going to attack them if they say anything, and, you know, they don't want that. They're afraid. Well, to you I say thank you, and go fuck yourself, because, you know, like, you let them do it, right? You let them do it. And when it's you, it's not okay. Only if we stand together against such things can they be stopped, right? I eventually defeated my bullies. I had a real Charles Atlas moment, actually, with one of the worst ones of them, who'd been harassing me for several years rather brutally, doing things like tripping me in the hallway and yelling insults at me, and nobody did anything, and everybody said, oh, well, you know, it actually has to be like, you know, they have to actually attack you, right? Okay, and finally she did. She came up behind me while I was walking up the hill from school to visit a friend, and she was yelling insults, and I was trying to get, you know, just walk, and, you know, but she, you know, ran up to me and she says, oh, you know, I'm just going to hit you once in the back of the head, okay? And she did. But you see, I'd been anorexic, and I had decided that I wasn't going to do that anymore, so instead I was working out at a gym. So I turned around, threw her down on the ground, and beat the crap out of her. And the whole time I was doing that, she was flailing her hands in the air and screaming, you know, and eventually she started in with, you know, you can't hit me, I'm pregnant, to which I responded, you should have fucking thought of that before you hit me. From this I learned three things. One is that sometimes there is only one language that a bully understands. The second thing is that, how did I put it? Sometimes the price of peace isn't worth it. And the third thing I learned is that if you cannot count on the authorities to protect you, then you must protect yourself. And you have to do it whether they approve or not. Things haven't gotten quite this bad in Canada yet. Thank the gods. And I hope they never do. But we do have our fringe elements here too. Our white supremacists, our racists, our anti-Muslim people. There's a demonstration that apparently there's an anti-Muslim organization that is going to hold a demonstration in front of City Hall in Vancouver on Wednesday. And I will urge you, if you are within a reasonable driving distance and you can make it, please go down and counter-protest. Don't start a fight. Don't start a fight. But maybe the time has come to be prepared to finish it if they do. Certainly the time has come to speak out, to be vocal in opposition. Whatever you thought you would do in the Holocaust or in the Civil Rights Movement, you're doing it right now. And I guess that's all I have to say tonight. So, good night. Good luck. God's bless. Don't forget to tell people that you love them. And don't forget to reach out and share kindness and be kind when you can. Okay?